Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to share a simple lunch that we prepared on New Year and also watch the video till the end to see to whom all we shared our New Year lunch. And I have also attached a few clips from the last 2 weeks of December, like how we got ourselves prepared for Christmas and New Year once my son's holidays began.
Because he loves us so much, God sent us Jesus to be our Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
So let's get started. This is a rich plum cake that I ordered from one of my dearest friends. So if you're someone in Chennai, she's a home baker. You can contact her for any kind of cake orders. This is boiled egg and some chicken deep fried chicken using a different kind of marinade. And this is ghee pepper chicken roast, onion raita, and mutton biryani using a very traditional recipe, and used zira samba rice to prepare this. I have a separate video for the biryani, you can have a look. So today I'm going to make 1 kg of mutton biryani. So I've taken 1 kg of zira samba rice, 5 to 6 onions, 1 bunch of coriander and mint leaves, and green chilies, tomatoes, curd, red chili powder, shallot paste, and oil. And this is garam masala or homemade biryani masala, as you say. For this biryani we use a homemade masala that has cinnamon, cardamom and cloves, just the 3. Take it in equal quantities and grind it to a nice powder. And this is ginger and garlic paste, homemade, and I make it in bulk and keep it ready for the entire week. And juice from 1 lemon. So now we're going to cook the mutton before starting to make the biryani. So I've taken about 1 kg of biryani cut mutton. I'm adding some water in a pressure cooker and then add 1 tablespoon of ginger and garlic paste and 1/4 spoon of turmeric powder and some salt, and we are going to pressure cook this in high flame for 1 whistle. And once you get the first whistle, lower the flame to sim and cook this for another 15 minutes. After you lower the flame, only the timing counts. Don't look for the whistle count and all, only the timing matters, and your mutton will be ready for the biryani. So while that is getting cooked, we'll marinate the chicken. So I've taken about half a kg of boneless chicken. To this I'm adding some salt, ginger and garlic paste. This is crushed coriander seeds, about 2 tablespoons, and crushed red chili or chili flakes. Add chili flakes as per your spice and your preference, some cumin powder and garam masala. First let's give this a quick mix before we add the rest of the ingredients. This is a red chili sauce. You can also use green chili sauce, some chaat masala and coriander leaves, and 1 tablespoon of vinegar and carom seeds, that is omam seeds, and then corn flour, and mix this well. Adding chili chaat masala and vinegar is very important. It will give you a different taste. And finally I've added some Kashmiri red chili powder just for the color. Mix this and let this marinate. And the mutton is also done. Before we start with making the biryani, we'll marinate for our ghee pepper chicken roast as well. So I have given the list of all these ingredients in the description box. So we're going to dry roast all these ingredients and then take it in a mixer jar before adding water and grind this to a coarse powder. And then we'll add ginger and garlic paste and make this and add some water and make this into a fine paste. Now if you don't have ginger garlic paste, you can also use whole ginger and garlic and grind this. And for the ghee pepper chicken, I'm taking chicken with the bones, add some salt, turmeric powder, and add the ground masala. Mix this well. And finally we'll add some curd and let this marinate. Curd, lemon juice, vinegar, all this is important while doing any kind of marination because it will help to tenderize the chicken. So add about half a cup of curd finally, and let this also start marinating. And while we have done with everything, finally I'm going to soak the rice. The rice has to soak only for 30 minutes and not more than that. So according to your timing, soak the rice. So we have marinated for the fried chicken, and this is for the ghee chicken pepper roast. We have soaked the rice, we have the mutton cooked and all the other ingredients. So now it's time to start making the biryani. Take a heavy bottom biryani pot. I am using about 200 ml of groundnut oil. You can use sunflower oil also. And I'm not adding ghee today for the biryani because mutton itself has a lot of fat in it. I've added some whole spices and then we're adding the onions. So cooking the onions will take a little bit of time. So in the meantime, let that get cooked. We'll put some eggs for boiling. So the onion has to nicely cook and start browning. So we'll have to cook this through completely. Be a little patient while cooking. And we have spent so much money for the mutton, the rice and everything. So taking some more time for making the biryani will help to enhance the taste and give a nice flavor and taste to your biryani. So the onions are nicely done. So at this point add about 2 tablespoons of ginger and garlic paste and the ground shallots. Cook this through. You can add rock salt at this point so that the ginger and garlic doesn't get stuck to the bottom of the pan. Once the raw smell leaves, we'll add green chilies and the coriander and mint leaves. Adding coriander and mint leaves directly to the oil also will enhance the flavor. So don't wait for adding it later on. Add it in the oil itself after you add the ginger and garlic paste. Keep stirring it because it will keep catching at the bottom. It will start browning very quick. So just keep mixing it before we add the tomatoes. Even if you have some stuck at the bottom, once you add the tomatoes, it will come off. So I'm adding about 3 large tomatoes. Cook the tomatoes through completely until the raw smell leaves, and also it has to turn nice and mushy. So to fasten the process of cooking the tomatoes, we'll add a little bit of rock salt. And then we'll add the chili powder and the ground masala. So for the biryani masala, we have taken about cardamom, cloves and cinnamon. We've taken it in equal quantities. Say if you're taking 5 grams of cardamom, the rest also should be 5 grams of cloves and 5 grams of cinnamon. Grind this to a nice powder and keep this in the refrigerator so that every time you make this kind of biryani, you can use that. So I've added about 1 teaspoon of the biryani masala. After giving it a quick mix, we'll add the cooked mutton pieces. If you can see, the mutton has cooked until 80%. The remaining 20% will cook along with the rice. So exactly 1 whistle in high flame, and then lower the flame and cook it for 15 minutes, and your mutton will be perfectly ready for any kind of biryani and even for gravies as well. And now to this we'll be adding 250 grams of curd and give this a nice mix. Let's cover and we'll give the mutton some steam so that it gets infused with all the masala. In the meantime, I'm just taking care of myself. Keep yourself hydrated when you're doing large cooking or cooking for a long time. Drink some water, have some fruit in between or a lemon juice. It'll help you and give you energy while cooking. So the mutton is nicely cooked in the gravy. Now it's time to add the mutton stock and water. So I have taken about exactly 5 cups of rice. So for that I'm going to add about 8 cups of water. So I have 3 cups of mutton stock and the remaining 5 cups I'm adding hot water. And once it starts boiling, I'm adding juice from 1 lemon, and then it's time to add the soaked Ziraga sambar rice. Add the rice. So the rice has to soak exactly for 30 minutes and not more than that. So as per the timing, you have to keep an eye and soak it exactly half an hour before. Don't over soak the rice, it will turn mushy. Because the cooking time of basmati rice, ziraga sambar rice is very less. So now I'm going to cover and let this cook for some time, and you have to wait for the rice to absorb all the water, and then we'll start with the dum cooking the biryani. Give this a nice mix, and again I'm going to cover and let this cook for some more time until the rice absorbs all the water. So I'm just giving it a stir so that the mutton and the rice gets evenly, it has to be evenly spread across. Now if you can see, the rice has started absorbing the water. At this point the rice is 50% done. So you can just level up the biryani right now, and it's time to dum cook it. So use a heavy bottom pan so that it doesn't burn at the bottom, and give it a very gentle mix. I'm going to level this and then we'll place it on a heavy bottom iron pan or any heavy bottom pan. Don't keep the biryani pot directly on the flame. So I'm placing it on a iron kadai, and I'm going to cover this and place a heavy stone on top, and then we'll dum cook it in low flame, completely low flame, for another 30 minutes. So while that is dum cooking, we'll start with making the ghee pepper chicken roast and also the fried chicken. Add about 2 spoons of ghee, and then for the fried chicken I'm adding about 100 ml of sunflower oil. For the ghee chicken I'm adding 2 large onions. I've chopped this into fine pieces and I'm adding it here and cook this through. While the onions are getting cooked, we'll also add the boneless chicken pieces for frying. So wait for the raw smell of the onions to leave. Making this ghee pepper chicken is very easy. You just need to marinate it with the spices, and marination is very important. If you have time, you can marinate it overnight. You can leave it for 4 to 5 hours for night cookings, especially. You can marinate in the morning and use it for the evening dinners. So the more it marinates, the more juicier and tender the chicken becomes. This is actually a perfect combination for ghee rice and for jeera rice. For any kind of variety rice, you can make this ghee pepper chicken roast. So I'm going to cover this and let this cook for another 5 to 6 minutes. The chicken has to absorb all the spices, and also it has to dry up a little bit and become a nice and a dry roast. So each and every chicken pieces has to be coated with the marinade. Now if you don't have the whole spices for making the powder, you can use powders itself directly. I'll give the measurement in the description box. You can have a look. The fried chicken is now ready. So the marinade for the fried chicken is a little different. So this taste is also nice and a little different taste. Usually we make chili chicken or chicken lollipop for biryani, but this also tastes really well. So you can try this once in a while for a different kind of a taste. Now I'm adding the next batch to fry, and the ghee chicken is also getting ready. Also keep an eye on the biryani because we have put it for dum. If you can see, for the ghee chicken, the oil is nicely separating from the gravy. So let's cook this in open for some more time until it nicely dries up and coats the chicken. Now for the ghee chicken, if you wanted a little, like a little gravy type or chapati, you can turn off the stove at this point or even before this, but I'm going to let this roast nicely. Now this is completely done. It's time to garnish it with some coriander leaves and curry leaves, and we'll move it to a serving tray. Finally finish it off with some coriander leaves and curry leaves, and we can turn off the stove. So finally the biryani is also now ready. After 40 minutes exactly, I'm opening the biryani pot. The rice on top is nice and fluffy, and now this is also ready to be served. But the biryani, the longer it stays in dum, the more it gets time to soak up. It tastes even more better. So usually if you have guests at home, you can cook this like 2 hours before serving time and leave it to rest for a minimum of 1 hour and a maximum of 2 to 3 hours. The more it stays in dum and soaks up in the spices, the more tastier your biryani will be. So the yummy, delicious homemade biryani is ready. We can now start serving. Be very gentle so that you don't break the mutton pieces, and also the rice also should stay firm. You can change this to a serving tray. Now it's time to serve.